Images you won't find on Russian state media. A grieving mother, her son Ruslan Gavrilov, killed in Syria working for a private security company during an ill-fated attack on American-backed forces. Online network Current Time visited her at her home.
Are they not people? They obviously went to fight, to help. Even if it's for the money, it's because of poverty. It's because there are no jobs.
CNN has identified several of the Russians killed on the night of February 7th. They were employed by a Russian security company called Wagner and were part of a force trying to take a gas field held by U.S.-backed fighters and American troops in eastern Syria. U.S. warplanes, helicopters, and artillery killed more than 100 of the attackers before the rest fled. Sources we've been speaking to say many Russians, probably dozens, were either killed or badly wounded. One source who visited a military hospital says many of the Wagner contractors who survived have what he called horrendous wounds, and he called all of it a massacre. But just why the attack took place at all comes down to oil and money. According to the U.S. Treasury, Wagner is led by Dmitry Utkin, seen here meeting President Vladimir Putin. Utkin is under U.S. sanctions because of Wagner's activities in Ukraine. He has a long association with the Russian oligarch called Yevgeny Prigozhin, who's close to the Kremlin. U.S. investigators believe Prigozhin's corporation also financed the so-called troll factory that was involved in meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Another of Prigozhin's many companies is called Evropolis. It has an office in Damascus and a deal with the Assad regime. According to a contract examined by CNN, Evropolis gets a quarter of revenues from oil and gas fields that are recaptured on behalf of the Syrian government. Wagner does the fighting, Evropolis gets the oil. Ruslan Leviev, an activist whose group monitors the Russian role in Syria, says Prigozhin's empire is extensive.
The group of companies controlled by Prigozhin includes many well-known to U.S. structures. One of the most famous projects is the Troll Factory that specialized in propaganda and informational war. It's the Wagner private military company, which was initially formed by his personal security guys. Dmitry Utkin, the head of Wagner Group, used to work in Yevgeny Prigozhin's security service.
Last year, Prigozhin denied being linked to Wagner, his company saying, quote, "We do not have any information about this organization." CNN's efforts to reach Prigozhin and Wagner were unsuccessful. For its part, the Russian government is also reluctant to talk about last week's incident, which is of no comfort to the families of these and other men killed in the Syrian desert. For Pleitgen, CNN, Moscow.
Fred, thanks for the report. When we asked for comment, the Kremlin responded, quote, "We have no new information about this, and we said everything we want to say on this matter."